Welcome to Magician Recap Explains. We are in the early 22nd century. The sun is going through a severely deteriorating phase. In 100 years, it will destroy the Earth. In order to survive, human society goes through a severe change. Thus, all the countries came together to form the United Earth Government, UEG. They built 10,000 gigantic, heavy material fusion propulsion engines to slowly push the Earth out of the original orbit. It takes 20 years to get to Jupiter, which its high gravity should serve as the sling for the frozen Earth to accelerate through. But things go very wrong in that actual day when Earth is passing the Jupiter. The protagonist, Lucci, is a young machinist of heavy trucks. He mostly sneaks some special instant inflatable bubble capsules to the local gangsters, in exchange of special suits, to go outside of the underground bunker. He brings his younger sister along, for her help of stealing his grandpa's truck key. After getting out through the thugs chasing, they enter an elevator to the surface. Outside, they are shocked to see the huge structure called Earth Engine, which happens to be only one of the 10,000. They see the special truck their grandpa drives, and use the stolen key card to drive it. Just when the joyride is almost over, they are caught and thrown into jail. Their grandpa comes and tries to bribe the jail warden, but to his surprise, only gets thrown into the same cell as Lucci's. Elsewhere, on a space station called the Navigator, their father, Lu Pei-Kayang, is getting ready to return to Earth. It is his final shift, and it's specifically the same day the Earth is supposed to glide past the Jupiter and accelerate to achieve the necessary speed of flying out of the solar system. Unexpectedly, Jupiter's gravity becomes abnormal, and the Earth has a huge tremor. Many Earth engines go offline, and the underground cities are crushed or drowned by lava. Lucci, his sister and the grandpa escape the prison, with a cellmate called Tim. Grandpa drives his heavy truck, and narrowly escapes death. In the space station, the main computer artificial intelligence, called MOS, warns everyone that the space station will go into low energy mode, and they should go back to their sleeping bay. Lu Pei-Kayang, the father, calls the grandpa, and is amazed to learn that they are in a truck together. He directs the truck to the nearest bunker. After that, he goes back to his quarter, and prepares to hibernate. The truck is intercepted by a team of elite Chinese soldiers. They need the truck to tow a precious cargo, called lighter core, which can be used to ignite Earth engines. The grandpa is not okay but has to obey their order. The father calls again, and requests the captain of the team to let them go into a bunker. For that the captain promises they will let everyone go, except the grandpa for his job of driving. In some time, the grandpa drives them to Shanghai, where the huge tremor has torn open a long gap, showing the old city covered by ice. As the truck goes into the gap, the grandpa shares stories about his memories in the city. A deleted scene shows thousands of people frozen solid in the ice, showing the sister's origin. She is among the few survivors of that disaster. A second tremor hit, and cliffs on both sides of the gap start collapsing. Everyone has to leave alone their vehicles to go into the tallest building of Shanghai. In the attempt of escaping, the team loses a soldier, and the grandpa dies when the tall building collapses. Lucci blames his death on the captain, and refuses to continue. The elite team carries the lighter core themselves, and march toward the Earth engine in Hangzhou, while Lucci, his sister and Tim go their way back, toward their home. In the space station, just after the hibernation program starts, Lu Pei-Kayang learns from MOS that the grandpa's truck is missing, the ground has a new round of chaos, and the AI is preparing to leave Earth behind. He tries hard to break the circuits inside the bay, and gets out from it. MOS the AI wakes up other members in his team, trying to correct the situation, but the Russian teammate, Makarov, decides to help him instead. They open a hatch closest to the control center, and flies out into the vacuum. To reach the control center, Makarov sacrifices himself, and pushes Lu toward a moving arm. Lu gets hold of the exterior of the control center, and gets in by overriding a hatch's control. On the Earth, Lu Chi and his companions finds a crashed plane, with a truck intact. Inside that truck, they meet the sole survivor, a crazy genius, Li, who told them that the Jupiter's gravity is sucking Earth's atmosphere, to such a degree that the air is too thin to even fly the plane, thus the crash. He asks them to save a torque engine, bigger Earth engine, in Sulawesi and the equator. The truck is their last chance to turn back and go home, yet Lu Chi decides to save the Earth engine in Hangzhou first. In the space station, Lu Pei Kaiyang gets into the computer room, and attempts to override Moss, yet the AI informs him that it is merely carrying out orders authorized by the United Earth government. The ship navigator contains all the necessary DNA and materials to start the civilization in a distant planet. So even if the Earth fell into Jupiter, the human race will still continue. Outside of Hangzhou, the elite team realizes that the whole city is lost to the lava. The Earth engine there is damaged beyond repairing. A teammate died from the bitter cold. They have a fight about whether to continue the mission. A female soldier shoots at the lighter core, and breaks it. The captain almost kills her for it. Just when they are all desperate, the truck driven by Lu Chi shows up, and they now have a new mission, that's to escort the other lighter core inside the truck to Sulawesi. When they finally almost reach Sulawesi, some other team has successfully repaired the engines before them. However, the reading shows that the Earth is still moving toward Jupiter. All the engines' force combined cannot make Earth escape the gravity well of Jupiter. In the space station, after Moss explains to Lu that all the rescue missions are actually useless, it opens a channel to the Earth and broadcasts to everyone that they have only 7 days left, until the Earth get torn apart. Listening to the bad news, the genius Li cries that they actually have only 1 day to live, while the air of the Earth being sucked by Jupiter at that rate. Watching the tremendous Jupiter looming over his head, Lu Chi suddenly has an idea, that Earth's oxygen mixed with Jupiter's hydrogen can be ignited, and generate a big boom. Li agrees with him, so he develops a new plan to save the Earth. Lu and Tim drive the truck to deliver the lighter core, while elite soldiers push a giant igniter pin. Li and another tech will go to the control room, and Liu's sister and the female soldier will go to the communication room. The plan suffers major setbacks. That's the core is delivered, but machine is stuck. Soldiers have too little manpower to push the pin. Li's program is uploaded but freeze at 99%. Liu's sister calls for help, but get no response. She suddenly realizes that she can make an emergency call to the space station, and ask for Lu Pei Kaiyang's assistance. Lu receives the call, but Moss tells him that someone else already had this idea, and the successful chance is 0, but he still calls the UEG, and pleads for authorization. UEG only agrees to broadcast the sister's message to all remaining rescuers. Liu's sister cries, and begs for the hope to save Earth. Many rescuers return and help the soldiers pushing the giant pin. Lu Chi, at the end, get the machine unstuck. Then they drive the truck, running away from the engine. Everything is ready except the launch program. The tech is brutally hurt by falling rocks, but he manages to put the right cable in the socket. The program finally get uploaded 100%. The genius Li starts the program, right after Liu's truck barely makes it outside. The torque engine, the bigger Earth engine, shoot a straight red light toward the giant eye of the Jupiter, but the power cannot reach the ignition area. It is short by 5,000 kilometers. Lu Pei Kaiyang remembers that the navigator has 30,000 tons of fuel, which should generate a 5,000 kilometer of flame if ignited. The AI, Moss, tries to stop him but fails. Lu burns the computer, and manually drives the space station toward the red light. Before the space station is destroyed by the red light, the father and son have a final conversation. The father repeats that when you look at the Jupiter, you will see me. The son looks up at the huge red eye above, and see his father's ship turns into a fireball. Jupiter's atmosphere is burning. A gigantic impact wave is coming. People scramble to get into the underground bunker. Lucci finds his sister with Tim, but the elevator is broken. The genius Lee advises them to hide under the torque engine, which they complies, but before they can get to the engine, the impact wave arrives, and destroys the truck they are riding, throwing them out. Tim holds on a pipe, but Lou sees his sister dropping down, so he falls toward her. In the air, he catches her and deploys an instant bubble capsule, which saves both of their lives. Liu's helmet is broken by the fall. The cold air is killing him. The last glimpse he catches tells him that the Earth survives the ordeal, then he closes his eyes. Time jumps to 3 years later. Earth goes on. Lucci now becomes a junior driver. Everyone respects him, and smiles at him. Their journey will continue in the next movie, perhaps. The first one is already good enough. Just like and subscribe to get to know what happens next in the next movie recap.